Some people don't struggle with chaos. They struggle with calm. Silence makes them anxious. Peace feels suspicious. Healthy love feels boring. And they don't know why. They say things like, "I don't know, it just feels off. It's too quiet. I'm waiting for something to go wrong." If calm feels unfamiliar to you, this video might explain something you've never been able to put into words. Because sometimes the reason peace feels uncomfortable is not because something is wrong. It's because your nervous system was trained on chaos. And what you grew up in becomes what you recognize as normal. Even if it hurt you. Even if it exhausted you. Even if it shaped you into someone who never truly rests. This isn't about blaming your past. It's about understanding your body. Because your body remembers environments long after your mind says, "I'm fine." And today we're going to talk about why safety can feel threatening when chaos once felt like home. When you grow up in unpredictability, emotional tension, criticism disguised as discipline, inconsistent affection, walking on eggshells, not knowing which version of someone you'd get, your body adapts. You become observant, hyper-aware, emotionally intelligent beyond your years. You learn to scan rooms. You track tone shifts. You memorize people's moods. You anticipate conflict before it starts. Not because you were dramatic, because you were surviving. A child doesn't choose hypervigilance. It develops it. When love feels conditional, your body stays alert. When approval feels unstable, your body prepares for rejection. When calm is followed by conflict, your body stops trusting calm. So now, as an adult, when life becomes steady, no raised voices, no tension, no emotional guessing games, your body doesn't relax. It searches. Where is it? What am I missing? When is the shift coming? And when it doesn't find danger, it feels uneasy. Because your nervous system has been calibrated to expect disruption. Calm feels unfamiliar because your body was trained for survival, not safety. And survival mode doesn't switch off just because your circumstances improved. This is where it gets uncomfortable. Because sometimes you don't just tolerate chaos, you're drawn to it. If you grew up in emotional inconsistency, intensity starts to feel like connection. Hot and cold feels passionate. Uncertainty feels exciting. Chasing feels meaningful. Emotional spikes feel alive. But stable love? It feels flat. Not because it is, but because your nervous system isn't activated. There's no adrenaline, no guessing, no withdrawal and reward cycle, and your brain confuses calm with boredom. But let's say this clearly. Chaos is not chemistry. It's familiarity. And familiarity feels safe even when it hurts. Your body may interpret anxiety as attraction, because anxiety feels known. And steady affection can feel suspicious, because you don't know what to do with it. No drama, no proving, no rescuing, just consistency. And if you learn that love must be earned through emotional labor, ease can feel undeserved. So you lean toward what feels intense because intensity feels like home, even if home wasn't peaceful. Now let's talk about something quietly painful. Sometimes peace feels so unfamiliar that you disrupt it. Not consciously, subconsciously. You delay responding to someone kind. You test someone's loyalty. You question someone's intentions. You withdraw when things become consistent. Because deep down, there's a belief. This won't last. And if it won't last, it's safer to end it yourself. Control feels safer than vulnerability. If you expect abandonment, stability feels temporary. And temporary things don't feel safe. So you brace. Even when there's nothing to brace for. You look for cracks. You anticipate betrayal. You prepare your exit. Not because you want chaos, but because unpredictability once prepared you. Self-sabotage is often protection in disguise. You're not ruining good things because you're toxic. You're trying to avoid the shock of losing something good. And sometimes the nervous system chooses familiar pain over unfamiliar peace, because at least familiar pain has a pattern. For some of you, calm doesn't just feel unfamiliar. It feels wrong, because growing up, your worth was tied to performance, being useful, being responsible, being mature, being the strong one, being the fixer. You weren't allowed to just exist. You had to contribute. You had to manage emotions. You had to hold things together. So now when life slows down, you feel restless. You feel lazy. You feel unproductive. You feel like you should be doing more. Even in relationships, if there's no fixing, no rescuing, no crisis, you don't know your role, because you learned love through effort, not ease. And ease feels unfamiliar. You were praised for endurance, not softness. So softness now feels unsafe. Rest feels undeserved. Peace feels unearned. But what if your worth was never meant to be proven through exhaustion? What if calm isn't something you have to justify? Here's something most people don't talk about. When you leave chaos, your body goes through withdrawal, because chaos creates chemical spikes, cortisol, adrenaline, emotional highs and lows. Your system becomes used to intensity, so when you enter something stable, it feels slow, too slow. You might think, is this it? Shouldn't I feel more? Why doesn't this feel exciting? Because your body is detoxing, and detox doesn't feel comfortable. Healing is quiet, and if you equated loudness with love, quiet feels empty. But empty and peaceful are not the same thing. Sometimes calm feels like emptiness because there's no chaos filling the space. But in that space, you can finally hear yourself. Let's redefine calm. Calm is not boring. Calm is not decoding someone's mood, not fearing emotional explosions, not shrinking to avoid conflict, not rehearsing conversations in your head, not bracing when someone says, "We need to talk." Calm is predictability without control. It's knowing someone's tone won't suddenly shift. It's safety without performance. It feels slow at first, because your body is learning that it doesn't need armor. Real calm feels like breathing fully. And if you've lived in survival mode, breathing fully feels strange. Your shoulders drop. Your jaw unclenches. Your mind quiets. And at first, that quiet feels suspicious. But eventually, it feels like home. You don't force yourself to enjoy calm. You practice it gently. 1. Notice when you're scanning for problems. 2. When things are peaceful, say, "Nothing is wrong right now." 3. Don't create tests for people who are consistent. 4. Let safe people remain safe. 5. Separate anxiety from intuition. Anxiety says, something is about to go wrong. Safety says, right now I'm okay. Your body will resist safety at first. That doesn't mean it's wrong. It means it's new. And new safety feels unfamiliar before it feels secure. Give yourself time. If calm feels unfamiliar to you, it's not because you're broken. It's because you adapted. You survived something that required hyper-awareness. And now your body just needs time to learn that it doesn't live there anymore. You are not addicted to chaos. You are healing from it. There's a difference. Don't run from calm. Sit with it. Let your body learn that quiet is not a threat. Let peace stay long enough for it to feel normal. You deserve a life that doesn't require survival skills. And maybe, calm isn't boring. Maybe it's the first sign that you're finally safe. I'll see you in the next one.